Hello my crochet friends, this is Sarah from Ned and Mimi, and in this video we are going to crochet this beautifully textured dishcloth using an unusual stitch that is a variation on a single crochet two together. So this stitch pattern is completely reversible, making it great for scarves, blankets, towels or washcloths like this one. Now I do have a free crochet pattern to accompany this video, and that is available on my website nedandmimi.com, and I have linked to it below. And in the written pattern I have also included instructions on how you can modify the stitch pattern to make it any size that you like. Now before I get started, I do want to tell you that this particular dishcloth is part of a set of 3 coordinating patterns that you can also find linked below, and each pattern is completely unique, but together they do complement each other beautifully. In terms of materials for making this dishcloth, you can find all of the yarn and hook information in the description below or in the crochet pattern, but in a nutshell you're going to need a worsted weight cotton yarn and a 5.5mm or letter I crochet hook. However, in this video to demonstrate the stitch pattern I am going to use a thicker bulky weight yarn and a 7mm crochet hook. So I'm going to start with a slip knot, and for this stitch pattern you can chain any even number. So I am going to start by chaining 12. Alright, so there is our starting chain. Now we are going to skip the first chain from the hook and we're going to start working into the second chain. And when I'm working into my chain, I actually like to flip my work over and work into these back bumps here, and I just feel like it gives a much neater edge, so that's what I'm going to do. So skipping that first chain, I'm going straight into the back bump of the second. So I'm just going to insert my hook into that back bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now I'm not going to complete this stitch, I'm going to insert my hook into the next back bump, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now I have 3 loops on my hook. Now what I'm going to do is just draw my hook through that second loop until I'm left with 2 loops on my hook, and now I will complete the stitch. So that stitch, I'm not really sure what to call it, to be honest. It's kind of like a single crochet two together, except instead of the second leg being a single crochet, it's actually a slip stitch. So now we're going to chain 1 and we'll work another one of those single crochet slip stitch two togethers. So we will insert the hook into the next back bump, yarn over and pull up a loop, insert it into the next bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now draw that first loop through the second and complete as you would for a regular single crochet. So you might find this slip stitch bit a little tricky at the start, but after a bit of practice I promise it'll become absolutely second nature. So let's go ahead now and just continue that pattern all the way along. Alright, so we're just at the end of the chain, and now we're just going to finish the row with a single crochet into that last bump. And that is the first row done. So let's go straight on to the second row. We will chain 1 and turn. And now we're just going to repeat what we did there, except this time rather than working into the chain, we're going to be working into the top of our stitches from row 1. So we'll insert our hook through both loops of that last single crochet, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now we're going to insert our hook into that chain space, yarn over and pull up a loop, draw the first loop through the second for a slip stitch, and then complete the stitch, and then chain 1. Again, inserting into the top of the next stitch, inserting it into the chain space, 3 loops in our hook, draw through that second loop and complete the stitch. And that is it. That is everything you need to know to work this stitch pattern. So I'm just going to continue working all along the row, and then I will finish off with a single crochet in the last stitch. And the rest of the pattern is super easy. We just need to repeat row 2 for as long as we want. And as you can see here from my dishcloth, I've also added a simple single crochet border all around the edge just to finish it off nicely. I really hope you have enjoyed learning this new stitch pattern, and if you do have a second to subscribe, that would be absolutely amazing. I have lots more tutorials and patterns on my channel and website nedamimi.com, so do check those out. Happy crocheting and take care.